All right, here we go. We're gonna talk about it. Everything muscle growth. What is muscle growth? The simplest way to put it on how to actually build your muscles is protein and working out. So let's talk about protein. How much protein should you be getting? What protein do you eat? When do you eat the protein? There's a lot of debates about when you should get your protein in, whether it's before your workout, after your workout. It really does not matter. The most important part is that you're getting the sufficient amount that you need a day in order to grow your muscles. How much protein should you be having? The general equation is to get 1 to 1.5 grams of protein per your body weight. Now, if you have a bit more fat percentage and you're high in weight, then what you can do is actually eat your centimeters in height. So if you're 5'7", you're 170 centimeters, so then your goal would be to get at least 170 grams of protein in a daily intake. Or what you could do is actually get your full body scan, see how much muscle mass per fat percentage you are, and try to get at least 1 gram of protein per muscle mass that you have. That's the easiest way to put it. When you should eat that protein, it really does not matter. There are benefits to eating it before and eating it after, but your main goal is to get at least the protein intake that you need in order to grow your muscles within that day. Because if you're not even hitting that, then it doesn't matter when you eat it because you're not going to get any benefits anyways. The way that growing muscles work is we have to build the building blocks of growing muscles. And the building blocks of growing muscles is based off of amino acids. Amino acids are in your protein, which is why nutrition is such a big part on building your muscles. It's because you're giving them the building blocks that you need in order to actually build that protein. Now, you can just lift heavy, that's great, but there's actual science that goes into working out and how you should work out in order to efficiently and sufficiently build muscle. There's different forms that you can do. You can focus on progressive overload, which is slowly increasing your weight or reps over time. There's a bunch of different ways that you can do progressive overload. You can either do it by increasing your weight, you can do it by increasing your reps, or you can do it by focusing on your negatives and just focusing more on your mind-muscle connection and performing your actual exercise slower so you have more time under tension. Your best friend is going to be tension. You want to provide tension to your muscles in order for them to grow. So your main focus should be your mind-muscle connection to your muscle on the exercise that you're doing and how much tension you're putting on your muscle in order for that muscle to actually grow. If that means performing your exercise much slower, then do that, because that is going to grow your muscle much more than just trying to pump something out and hope something happens. There's an actual science behind what's going on in your muscles while you're doing that exercise for you to get the results that you want. Another form would be resistance training. When you're doing resistance training, we want to be performing our exercises almost to failure. Doing it to where you don't have more than 2 reps left in you, that is almost to failure, and that is what's going to give you the most consistent and the most efficient results on muscle growth. How much weight you should be lifting, that does not matter. There is so many debates on if you should be lifting heavier or lighter, or if you should be doing 4 reps or 5 reps or 12 reps. The main goal for you is to lift efficiently, effectively, and make sure you're connecting with your muscles. If you were doing that and you were performing it to almost failure, you will be getting the exact same results if you lift less reps or if you lift more reps. It does not matter. What does matter is making sure you don't go below your 20% max. Once you go below your 20% max rate, then you're not doing too much for your muscles in order for them to actually grow. So try to stay in between that range where it's not less than your 20% max. If you're doing more, then you're gonna do less reps and making sure that you have a longer rest time. Again, still performing to almost failure. Usually when you're doing heavier weight, you're gonna do anywhere between 1 to 6 reps, and you're most likely gonna hit a good amount of failure by the time you reach that 6th rep. Now, if you're doing lighter weight, then we're gonna go up into the 7 to 12 reps. We can even go much lighter and go all the way up to 15 to 20, 25, even to 30 reps. But again, we're not hitting lower than 20%, and even though we're going to be lowering the weight and going higher reps, we are still performing all the way to almost failure. That is what's going to give you the best result. There's another form that you can use, which is isolation exercises. It's where you're really just isolating one muscle in order to grow that little area. Again, the key thing with isolation exercises is to really focus on performing slower reps and focusing on using that exact muscle in order to grow that muscle. Make sure that you're giving your muscles enough time to rest in between your actual workouts throughout the week so it can repair that muscle, because what's happening during your muscle growth is it's actually just repairing those muscle tears, the actual damaged muscle from all the tension that you put on your muscle, which is the key that what you want to do. It's actually just repairing that muscle. So it's not breaking that muscle down completely and building up a new muscle. It's breaking that muscle down and then repairing that exact same muscle, but now we're making it stronger so we can put more load, more weight, more resistance over it, and you become much bigger, and that's how muscle growth works. Now, how many times should you be working out, or how many times should you be hitting that same exact muscle group a week? 1 to 2 times a week is sufficient enough. You don't have to do much more than that, especially if you're doing it correctly. If you're having trouble figuring out exactly what your full week of training should look like to hit your goals, whether it's muscle growth or losing weight, whatever your goal is, if you're just struggling to figure out what type of exercises, when you should be working out, and how to incorporate into your lifestyle, what type of workouts you should be doing, then go ahead. I have a link down below that you can apply for my one-on-one coaching, and I would be happy to get in touch with you so we can talk about your goals, how I can help you out, and I can make a personalized program just for you. So that is pretty much what goes into muscle growth. That's more of like the non-scientific way. If you want a video that goes more in depth about exactly what's going through your muscles during that muscle growth process, I can make another video for you guys on that, and just go ahead and comment down below that that's something that you want to watch, and I will make that video for you. Just for fun, I'm gonna give you 2 different recipes that you can incorporate into your routine, or if you just want to try it out. If you want more workout ideas or you want more recipe ideas, then you can go ahead and go to my Patreon down below, and I am posting a bunch of different recipes, a bunch of different workouts. I have my programs on there as well, and any fitness tips. I have more fitness tips on there, and I post every single week, so you can find more content there, and the link is down below. So we're gonna be making steak and potatoes, and then we're gonna also be making some sweet potato brownies. Let's go make some food. Hey, starting off with our savory dish, I cut up my potatoes in some cubes and then added it to a bowl so I can evenly distribute the seasonings. I just seasoned it with oil, salt, pepper, and paprika, and then mix that baby up, put in the oven for 350 for about 30 minutes, and it'll be good to go. Then I'm just breaking up the ground beef with my fingers, adding some onions and some garlic, lots of garlic, and the same seasonings as the potatoes. I'm gonna start cooking the onions, and then I'm gonna steam my broccoli. I do that by adding water and boiling it to a pot, and then putting my strainer over it and putting my broccoli in it and just covering it up, and then it steams it perfectly. Then I'm gonna cook the ground beef with the onions and all the seasonings and stuff. I'm gonna add some tomato paste and some ketchup and seasonings, whatever, and just gonna cook that baby up, and it comes out like this. It's not beautiful, okay, but it's so delicious, trust me. And Alex wanted an egg on his, so that's what his looks like. Next, we're gonna move on to our sweet dish. We're gonna boil some potatoes, then mash up our potatoes. After that, we're gonna add it to a bowl, and then take some peanut butter or almond butter and add that to the bowl. Then we're gonna take some eggs, some cacao, some chocolate chips, and I use agave and coconut sugar to sweeten it. And then I bake it in the oven for 350 degrees for about 20 minutes, I'd say, but I check it early if you want it more gooier. And then, there you have it. That brings us to the end of the video. I hope that you guys learned something today. If you have any other fitness-based questions, lifestyle-based questions, go ahead and put it down below, and I will be sure to make a video for you on it. That's all I have for you guys today. I will see you next week.